How long is the drive from Stillwater to Memphis?
It is about 6.5.
Oh, boy.
Carp he said he would make it in 6, but we about ran out of gas once, and then we got pulled over once.
He didn't tell me that. He didn't tell me that.
Yeah. So it was good, though. We got pulled over, and the guy came around to my side, and Carp says, "Officer, did I do something wrong?" And he says, "Yeah, you were going 72 and a 70," and I about spit out my water. I was, I never got pulled over for going 2 over, and I didn't know. I thought maybe he was kidding, but he was serious. So he said, "Yeah, you're going 72 and a 70," and it changes from 75 to 70 right back there, about a mile back. And I was like, wow.
Speed trap. Wow.
Jeez.
And he says, he asked Carp, he says, would you mind coming back and sitting in my car? And I was like, wow, it's getting weirder. So Carp, yeah, no problem. So he goes back, and apparently he was the drug dog cop. And so we had rental car, South Carolina license plate, and he saw bags in the back of our Ford Explorer rent-a-car, and had he didn't tell Carp this, but apparently he thought he did tell Carp. He said, "Well, I pulled you guys over because I saw a couple of guys in a South Carolina license plate with bags in the back of their car. I thought you guys might be smuggling stuff." So he had the drug dog sniff Carp, which obviously we weren't. We were not smuggling drugs. So
this time
he let us off without a ticket. So we had a little pit stop there. We almost ran out of gas, so we ended up at a bait and tackle shop by a lake somewhere in the border of Arkansas and Oklahoma. So it was good. It was an eventful little trip, and we made it.
Those guys don't know who you are. No one said, "Excuse me, aren't you guys baseball players or former baseball players?" No one knew.
No, we were suspected drug smuggling.
That's great.
That is great.
This is awesome, though. Not that part, but
no,
the
it is. That part's great.
That's pretty fun.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean for the experience, it's a great story. So the 6 hours, are you guys talking the whole time? Are you listening to music? Who's controlling the radio? What's the snacks like? I wish you guys would have filmed this 6 hours.
Yeah, no, we watched the Tom Brady roast for a good bit, so that took up about I don't know if y'all saw that, but it just kept going. I mean,
yeah.
3 hours,
2.5 hours, 3 hours of our drive. So we watched that. When we stopped, when we were forced to stop for gas, we were I think it was, I can't remember the first name of it. It was something bait and tackle. We weren't even sure on the little map if they were going to have gas, but we risked it, and they had gas, and then they had more. I think they had more fish food than they had people food, but they had a grill in the back, and so Carp's like, "I'm getting the burger." So he ordered a burger, and so I'm like, "Fine." And so we waited. We ordered burgers and waited. That took a little longer than we anticipated, but we had burgers there at the bait and tackle shop, and then we watched the Tom Brady deal. We chatted about anything and everything, and it was a good time.
That's awesome. Let me ask you this, because you mentioned Carp's body position, which has to do with swing path and things like that for people in the know. You know who was just talking about that? Goldie. When he was taking the extra BP, he was working on body position. Did he give you a call or send you a video or anything saying, "Hey, any ideas"?
No, I know Goldie well, but not that well. We've never really talked hitting, so I know that he's obviously goes way back with Turner Ward, and so I haven't ever really talked much with Goldie about hitting or the swing. So he looked a lot better yesterday, I can tell you that. So
I'm going to give you credit for it anyway.
Yeah,
I'm going to give me credit for it. Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? We were just talking yesterday before the game, and I told him a few things.
Yeah. Now you sound like ball game. Oop, I was just kidding.
Love it. What do you think of this ball club, Matt? Obviously, yesterday was nice, but a lot of the rest of it is not so good, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah. It's been really kind of strange from the offensive side, really, to looking at the OPSs of after Contreras went out, I saw a stat that was not good on OPS left on the roster. So I'm a little surprised. I'm not sure. I don't know why. But the offense obviously hasn't been great, or hasn't even been good, decent. And then the pitching has been okay. But yeah, it's just been it's been a struggle. It's been not good, and the good news is there is a lot of games left, but you got to start winning. You got to start playing good. You got to get momentum going. You got to hit better. And so the dudes in the middle of the order got to be dudes, and the young players got to take steps forward, and it's one of those things where they haven't played good, and that's why you're there. You're there to win. You're a St. Louis Cardinal. You're expected to play well. You're expected to win. You're expected to work and to play the game and play the game right. And so hopefully yesterday can get them going a little bit.
How does your preparation as a hitter change when you're facing a guy who's making his major league debut on the mound?
Well, I think you try to watch as much tape as you can get from the minor leagues. You just kind of, hey, what's he do? Just give me some kind of general information. How hard does he throw? What's his out pitch? How many pitches does he use? 3 pitches? Is he just a 2-pitch pitcher against righties or lefties? And and then until you get in the box and see it, there's not a whole lot that you can get from just watching video. But you just try to have a game plan, and then it really in hitting, they got to throw it over the plate. It's more about you. You got to throw it over the plate. You look for where you want the ball, and then if you get 2 strikes, you got to battle. And so sometimes we get so focused on the plan based on who's pitching that we lose sight of what makes us good and as hitters. And for me, it was, I got to be ready for a fastball out over the plate, and if he makes a mistake, and I'm gonna hammer it, and if he hangs me a breaking ball, I got to be ready to hit it. And so those sometimes, like I said, there's so much information now, and there's so much scouting, and there's so much data on he throws this pitch in this count, and he won't throw this pitch in that count. If you get too much going in your brain, sometimes you forget. That it's you got to get it back to simple. So that's usually how I would handle it.
So yesterday, Ollie gets tossed out for the first time of the season. It was a good one. I mean, it was a real good one.
It was.
And he actually, after the game, said, yeah, that was by design, trying to get the team fired up. Now, Goldie kind of wiped that aside when I asked him about it, but some of the other players said that does fire up the team. You've been there when your manager's gotten tossed. Does that fire up the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think it sends a message sometimes that, hey, let's get a little energy. Let's. I'm not gonna. Basically, I'm not gonna stand over here and just lay down. We need to fight, and sometimes it takes a little bit of emotion like that, and a little bit of I don't think you rely on that as something you need to get you going or motivated. But sometimes when the manager goes out there and kicks some dirt and yells at people, and looks like Scal's got in on it a little bit.
They did.
sometimes it gets the boys going a little bit. So yeah, I mean I don't sometimes it's a good thing. It's a good thing, and players they say maybe the manager's got my back, he's got our back, and but as a player it's all about execution. I mean that it only goes so far, and you got to go out there and play well. You got to play. You got to play well enough to win, and that while that's fun, and sometimes it'll get your juices going a little bit, you still have to go out there and execute.
Well, thank you for getting Goldie on track. Thank you for getting Carp, and thank you for the road trip story, because it's the best thing we've had on the show in weeks. Right? We all agree.
I have a feeling that one might go national.
Yeah, we're not tweeting that out. We will not.
On. But Matt, that's a good story, right? We can put that out, right? We can market that. It's funny, right?
I mean, I guess I just, I don't really.
It's somehow it's going to backfire and put you in a bad
Charlie.
Somehow,
Charlie,
it's a good story.
Listen,
come on, Charlie.
Clicks Marlow. Wow. Have a little respect.
I mean, it's a great story, Matt, and it's positive. It's funny. You guys didn't do anything wrong, allegedly.
Well, you can try to find a better story. You guys can tweet out. Maybe. Well, how much time is left in the show?
We got about 3 minutes.
I won't tweet it. I'll just put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Even better.
But we've respected our boundaries. Remember, we didn't put the stuff about you with the fire. You told us not to. Yeah. We're very respectful of boundaries. At least I am personally. I can't speak for Cole all the time.
Oh, he's the best. He's the best.
Boy.
Charlie's the best. He's the best. Matty,
I'm just glad you're back on the show, Charlie.
Thank you.
Matty, you're the best, Matty. Hey, thanks for coming on, man. We'll touch base next week.
Okay. All right.
See you, big dog.
See you.
See you.